All right. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. And I'm back. And what a day. Let me just get everything adjusted here. Hello, everybody in the chat, first of all. Let's just say hi to everybody. I saw you guys saying hi and welcomes and stuff. Thank you for your prayers. I've been through a lot. And you can see the damage path right there. The spiritual battle I am in is just wreaking havoc on the planet. And this is your damage path right here. All the devastation on this planet is because of the spiritual warfare that is taking place right now. Okay, enough of that. We'll get to that part later on. So unfortunately, Seeds is now not putting any data up at all. Okay, no Stereo A, no Soho. So I came over to ISWA here to our event from today. Okay. I'm hoping with trained eyes now you guys see what's in front of you. You can see a bigger, darker object in the background with 4 little objects right here along with it. Let me try something here because the camera does not pick up red too well on this, but it appears that I got it set up just right. Well, somebody in the chat just let me know, somebody with a trained eye that can see this, can you see what I just pointed out? It's kind of blatantly obvious. We have a darker, big, round object and 4 little moons, almost like in a 4 pattern on a dice. Anyways, this frame right here, oh boy, it's making me sick to my stomach. Ugh. What's going on with this stream? Whoa, what's happening here? I think you guys are still with me. It appears to be. Okay, yeah, it's still going. All right, good. So this is dated. Ow. Dang thing stabbing me at the same time. All right. This is dated the 19th. This is 2348. This is just on the cusp of turning the 20th. And it just turned the 20th not too long ago. All right. Okay. I would show you Soho, but there's nothing on it. So we're backing up a little bit here is what we're doing because this is the 19th and we were at the end of it. So we're going to go to the beginning of it and just kind of go frame by frame on this instrument. This is Soho, is still the same satellite. It's still the same data, but they're just not putting it up on the Seeds site. So most of the day was pretty quiet. We're starting at 0-100 hours here, okay? This is July 19th. Is this all fitting in the frame here? Do not glitch on me. Okay. Back to where we were. Opening frames 0-100, 7/19/23. Okay. As we start clicking through the day, let me get something else in here. A round wedge, and it's off center on my screen because, well, just because. Think if, yeah, this bar is not going to let me slide it. Let me slide it off the screen. So we're just going to have to deal with it for right now. Okay. If you come over, you can see we have these white dots still floating around. We still have this proton storm or debris after this event right here. Okay, so here it was all nice and clear, smooth red. We have our big event, bam, big object, boom, huge event, and then this so-called proton storm, as well as debris. Some of this stuff is big. If it's picking up on the camera, it's pretty big. Okay. So we have this big debris tail, proton storm slash going along. All right, back in frame. Let me get all the way through the 18th to boom. That was the 18th there. Now, here's the 19th. We start going, still proton storm. Okay, it's not as dense, but it's still dancing around all over the screen. Okay. We go through most of the day. You see a ghost right here of an object. You see there's a dark object right there with plasma on the backside of it. See it sneak you through there. And they're sneaky. They're dark. You can't see them unless they're draped in plasma. It's like an invisible table. You can't see it unless there's a tablecloth over it, painting the contour of the said invisible object. Like the corners of the table, well, this paints the curvature of the object. All right, now here's our event at 1748 of July 19th. Stop. Oh, I got stuff stabbing me in the side and in the back. It's crazy. All right, back to normal. We're back to this. Here's our event. No, this isn't it. This is just a little sub-event right here, okay? But at 1800, we had this event. Now, in this last frame right here, just bear with me. I'm trying my best. I've got to capture this for you guys. See if we put it in a darker zone right here. The shape of this, it's dark on the bottom, it's illuminated on the top, it's a disc-shaped object right there. Let me, I wish I could go back. Oh, we can. So watch. Right there. That's a disc. That's not a regular object. That's a giant disc. Right there is a good shot of it. Okay, so we had that thing move through today. Wait. Let's go back to it real quick. I'm trying something different here. It's working too, so boom. Alright. It's all draped in plasma. These discs interact just like these objects do. Right here you can see the plasma still draped around the back side of the disc. Okay. Then as it emerges, you can see the bottom half. There's a defined line right there. Give me all the zoom we can get here. Alright, now you can almost see the little portholes on it. You know what? I'm zooming in even harder. Give me everything we got. Okay, full max. Slide. Right there. Back a frame. One more frame. Then, as we go forward, ow. Right there is a good shot of it. Boom, boom. Okay? What's nice about this shot right here, pebble on the screen, you see how plasma is draping under the bottom side of this object right here? See this faint line right there? That is showing the disc shape of it. Here's the plasma hitting the backside of it right there, right where, like, say if there was a dome right here, the windows would be in a little row right around it. That's where it's hitting, right there. Here's the central, ow, the center of the disc, like where it's divided in half right here. You know, the middle of it. And then you can see this part's almost like in shadow, but you can see this plasma draping down underneath it right there, paints the ship. I mean, it's plain as day if you know what to look for or what you're looking at. Let me go, boom. Sorry about the webbing in this. Digital on digital. There we go. Get that webbing effect out of there. But hopefully you can see our disc. Oops, too close to right there. Alright. No joke. That's NASA's images. This is probably why SEEDS is not showing this stuff, okay? But luckily we can come over here. I don't know how much longer this side will be up now. Especially after what I have to tell you. Did anybody notice the moon and the star setting tonight? Did anybody notice? Well, you will after I tell you. You will understand after I tell you. You're gonna see it and then you're gonna go, I pray to God I'm wrong. But what I witnessed today, I was out with my son and we're doing our best to whoop ass for you guys, okay? And we're very busy. We're very, very busy. And I had a brief moment to look up, and I saw the moon and the star setting, and let's just say something's not right. Anyways, we will get to that in the spiritual part. For right now, we have inbound visitors. Okay? Don't be surprised to see this ship in your skies in about 3 days. Well, it could probably be here in the same day. It doesn't have to follow 3 days like a CME. It's a ship. It can probably be here 10 seconds after it, merged or, arrived here at the sun, and now they took the off-ramp. They took the freeway from star to star. Now they took the off-ramp at this star, and they're heading into Earth. Gonna have a little vacation and go see the Lord and see what the Lord's doing here. So, don't be surprised to start seeing this ship in your sky somewhere around the world. Okay? I know where it's going. It's going to be over my house. Everything seems to follow me. Anyway, so there's that. Now let's zoom back out so we can get our perspective back again. I need just a little more frame. Whoops. Ow. Alright. You guys are doing wonderful. You're hanging in there. Thank you for bearing with me on this. This instrument's not as easy to use as the other one. That's why I like to show you the other one. And boy, I wish we had the data on this one. I bet you, what would that ship look like on that black and white difference model? There it goes. It flies out of frame, and they cube out this little frame right here, so there was something following it that they blocked out. Okay. And then we have the tail end of today is this. Boom. Can you see the dark round black object that's with it? Can you see all the little... Is that the one I want? Or that one? Both are good enough. Let's just start zooming in. Now, we can't go too tight on it because I don't want to lose it. Ooh. Yeah, right about there. If we could get... Drop this down. There we go. Sorry, I gotta do little tricks to kind of capture this for you guys. Let's see, right there maybe. Okay, then this next frame. Now let's back it up. Can you see the plasma curving around this big object right here? This is a perfect image right here. Let's just get this one. Bear with me, folks. We're also something else I wanted to mention while I'm thinking about it. I noticed that today my feet swelled. I put my shoes on pretty loose because I have shattered feet, so shoes hurt, right? So I put them on loose anyways, and by the end of the day my shoes were all tight and my feet were all cramped. I'm thinking, what's going on? I didn't tie my shoes tight, and when I took my shoes and my socks off, I noticed my feet had swelled a bunch, so much that it made my shoes tight. And I was wondering if that has happened, if any of you folks have experienced that problem. If you have, just put it in the chat, whatever. Yeah, me or whatever. But I noticed that. All right, so this image speaks volumes. You can see this plasma draping around this dark black object right there. Okay, it has little moons along with it. You can see the plasma arcing over, draping over this one. There's another one back in here. We go to the next frame. Whoa. This almost looks like a pitchfork right here. A flaming pitchfork. But, look at all this plasma that's being ripped away. You can still make out our black round object there. There's a lot going on in this frame. I mean, just look around at it. We'll go back a frame too. Even back one more. So there's the event. You can see the edge right here of this object. The plasma is curving around it this way. And here's the leading edge. What the heck is this going right through the... Say what? Oh my. You guys see this? This thing traveled all the way across the screen. And this is like a zigzag line. This line isn't straight. It has little undulations in it. Wow. What the... Oh, all right, let's get this as bad. Oh, we are in as tight as we can. This looks like a chain. This isn't like a straight line. Unless it's a digital artifact, but no, this line undulates all the way. See, other things make straight lines on here. I see straight lines all the time. This almost looks like it corkscrewed or undulated. Almost looks like a DNA helix or something. This stripe right here that I'm studying going down the screen. What? Okay, anyhow, you can see this little craft right here. This is right as this object is busting out right here. So this thing, he says, is a marker. I didn't know what to call it, and I heard him say, it's a marker. So it's marking this event. Oh, look at this. Let's get back to this real quick. Saw something new. Right Alright. As this big one's emerging here, can you guys see this dark little round moon right here? And there's two of them. One here is further back than this one. They're not double stacked, but they are kind of. One is just behind the other. Let me get there and tint. Now, there. There we go. No, I don't drink enough water. That's probably part of it. But this was more like pressure. This felt like a pressure change. I'm saying, yeah, my feet swell too, but that's why I keep my shoes loose. Anyways, it was just something different. I was wondering if you guys had noticed anything like that. Something outside the normal. Anyway, back to this. Sorry, I get distracted. I have multiple thoughts on multiple planes and multiple dimensions. It's hard to focus sometimes, especially when you're in agonizing pain at the same time, too. All right, let's just get through this. All right, there's your object. You can see some moons here. This is the frame back with the marker. What the heck is this thing? I think it's picking up on the camera a little bit. It's really tight, but it undulates like left right. If you turn it sideways, it'd be up and down or whatever. But it looks almost like a chain. You want me to talk about the chain? Okay. I'm going to talk about the chain real quick before I forget it. Something else has been happening to me, at least, and it'll probably start happening to some of you as well. See, I wear a cross on a necklace, right? A lot of people wear a cross around their neck on a necklace, right? Well, mine has been doing some strange things. And the necklace I use is like a flat laying one. It lays flat on your skin. It's kind of wide, but it lays flat. And it's a really tight weave that doesn't kink. You know how sometimes if you twist it, it'll kink or whatever? Well, mine's a really tight weave that doesn't twist. It doesn't kink. It lays flat. Twice now, I've had a knot tied in one side of the chain. A knot. Like somebody undid it, tied a knot in one of the sides, and then reattached it. And I'm looking down going, how is that possible? Now something broke my crucifix while I was wearing it. So be careful, those of you who wear chains and crucifixes. Just be aware that they're under attack too, I guess. They might choke you or twist and turn into knots, but don't let that make you take it off. Alright? They're trying to get you to take it off. So when something like that happens to your necklace or your cross, just don't take it off. Just switch, do whatever you have to do. Entities are here and they're attacking your cross when you're wearing it and your necklace. Okay? So it's happening to me, and it's bound to start happening to some of you too. So just beware of that. And I think that's what you wanted me to say about the chain thing. Okay, we are moving on. Zooming out. Whoops, actually I want to keep that. Get out of there. And I'm going to go this way. Oh, wait, we got to click on the thingy here. Alright, now. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, so here's our event. Stay right there. Boom. Can you see the leading edge of the object right down here still? And look at all the... Let's Look at all this plasma, all these little speckles of plasma that it took off with it. It took a lot of plasma here. Look at this little moon still draped in plasma. This one up here has a little, little glowing face on it. How cute. All right, so that's our blast from today. And that's what they're not showing on seeds. All right, now we come over to this instrument. Boom, here's this blast. All right, except this is 3/4 through the day. That blast happened at the end here. So I'm not. This isn't jiving with the events. If they're going to say that that big blast was this little mouse fart of a hump right here, This one is that UFO. Remember the disc that we saw come out from behind the sun, whatever, interact with the sun? That was this event right here. The other big object with all the moons was right here at the transition of the day, and it barely made this little mouse fart of the hump on this instrument. Come here. I want you guys to see how meaningless this instrument made that event look. So, we cannot trust this instrument to give us intensity of the objects that are inbound, right? Because the UFO wasn't all that big, right? But it was a long duration one. The other event had much bigger objects, multiple objects, and barely showed up. So, this is not good for judging the intensity or the I don't know how to put that, but I think you guys understand. It's no indicator of the size of an object or anything like that, or the what came out, right? Because this was just a little disc that shows this big event, but this was just a huge freaking planetary system with moons, and it didn't hardly show up. Okay, so sometimes, even though these readings they look correct, I want to say they're wrong, but it could be correct. So, just fair warning. Sometimes these big events they're very stealthy. Let's just say that. They're stealthy. Here we are, day 3 of absorption. Remember I was telling you, we're going to have absorption after absorption, day after day for a while, at 3-4 days in a row. Here we are again, day 3. I think we'll have one more day of this tomorrow because we still have one more inbound. We'll get a break for a day, and then we'll have it again because we just had this thing. Oh, it's not there. That thing pass by. Is it still? Can I move it back? Oh, please. No. I just want to keep this in frame so I can bounce back to it and reference it when I need to. We'll stick with. No, get off there. We'll stick with that frame, you think? Yeah, probably that one. Alright, so back to where I was. Boom. So here's our absorption for today. A lot of it is in the northern. Look how, there's some in the southern, but it's not as intense. Look how intense it is on the northern, and that's been, the 3rd time. So the northern hemisphere has been taking a lot of the energy. Okay, I need to zoom back out a little bit here. Let's come over here real quick. Our KP index. Now, this is no indicator either. This is good readings. This is what we like to see is KP index nice and quiet like this, which is fine. It might jump here in a couple of days, 3 days when this new thing comes our way. Here's our auroras. We do have, they brighten back up a tad bit compared to the other day, but nothing too intense, right? Okay. I checked the tracker. I'm going to show you. It shows 1 CME on it. So I want you to see what they're reporting on. Okay, it doesn't show ours, but I want you to see what they're reporting on. Does that jive with what we saw earlier? No, it doesn't. That CME came off this side, right? The big one with all the objects. We're the Earth. We're looking at the sun this way. It would have come off the right hand side. So it would have come off this area over here. And it's just not showing it. It's showing the CME going this way. And I don't even recall seeing a CME come off that side of the sun during this whole day. So that is what it is. I think we're done here. One last thing I wanted to do. Oh, yeah. A spectacular dual plasma eruption with X-ray peaks of M2.7 and 5.7 was just observed around AR 3363 again. Towards the southwest limb. A noteworthy coronal mass ejection will be associated, however, due to the proximity to the limb. It should be mostly directed away from our planet. Yay! The less we absorb, the better. Now, over to the Schumann, because I want you guys to see something. Do you see how nice and quiet that Schumann is? Impressive. What I'm going to say, how impressive your prayers are. Get me. I want them to see this. This is their work. So good. All right. We had this small screeching event where there should have been a huge one. We came out of it nice and strong. There was a little lag right here, but it came back nice and strong. We had a small little mouse fart, but it came back nice and strong. Here is where this thing should have locked up. I'm telling you, our core and shell should have locked up right around here. And do you see this tiny little scrub? You guys are awesome. And look how strong it's going. Look how strong it's just, our magnetic field is holding in there strong. And that's your guys' magnetic field. Your prayers, your positive energy and vibes cause backup. You're like the backup generator for the Earth. All right, when the Earth falters, you guys got to stand in defense. Nice job. And we still have more inbound waves coming. And now I don't expect to see much screeching, no matter how big they are, because you guys are going to tackle those ones too. Now, something else I want to talk about. There's the core and the shell. The shell rotates around the core like a dynamo, right? It creates this magnetic field around it, which is propagates outward through the crust out into space, right? And that magnetic field is what protects us, right? The barrier in between the shell and the core, that gap is very tight. Let's say the clearance is very minimal, right? So any kind of inbound energy, give me this thing, dude. Look. This red energy, this has been pummeling us for 3 days. And we got one more day to go. Does this look like we've been getting pummeled for 3 days? Sure doesn't. Because you guys got some backbone. You do. And together we make perfection. All right. And right now we should be in some dire straits, and we're not. And that's all due to prayers. You guys gotta know. That's that's the ultimate thing. That's what this is all about. The power of your prayers is real. Okay, you can move mountains. This is moving mountains right here. Okay, you don't literally take a mountain on the ground and try to move every single rock in it. No, 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 no. It's battling things much bigger on a much bigger scale in dimensions that are deeper, like love, compassion. We'll teach you a lot. You'll get it. But I want you to see the results of your hard work. Bravo. Well done, folks. Whoops, I want to take that off. I did not want you guys to see that. Let's change it up, shall we? Now, this is our SO2 and our fires, right? Both are on the map at the same time. You see this big intensity here in South Africa? Here is our equator, right here. Right there. Right where the everything shuts off, right? You can see the defining line now. When I take it away, I put it right here. Let's just leave it there. That's the equator running across right there. So I'm going to hold this there as the equator. Alright, so bam, I just got an alert. I had to take a second to read it. So bang, you see what's going on. A lot of this stuff is happening on the southern part now because of that inbound star. Has anybody seen the pictures of that red inbound star? It's getting brighter. It's getting bigger. These people are getting concerned. I'm sure they are. And over here we got, a lot of this gas still escaping. The country divided, huh? Did you guys see the ads for Go West? It's just like, yeah, go west. Go out west. It's peaceful out there, whatever. It's like almost, they're not selling a product. They're not advertising a certain state. They just a little ad saying go west. I wonder why. Maybe you should heed the warning that they're telling you. Anyways, something else that's going on here. And we need to talk about this a little bit. The gas that's coming out here, right? Spurring these fires up here in Canada, right? It's relieving pressure as well, all right? Down under the crust. So, these inbound waves come in. You guys anticipate them. You pray about them. We get gas releases accordingly to a level that keeps the core and shell from grinding. See how your praying for this and praying for where to go? Back here, turkey, don't let me do this. Praying for both of these at the same time has a double effect, right? It's relieving the pressure, keeping the shell and the core from locking up and the magnetic field from going down, keeping us protected. So, we're having proper releases of pressure, better out here than it is over here. And we're also having proper releases of energy in our earthquake patterns. So, everything is going haywire according to plan, if that makes any sense. So we're going to hop in here now. This is probably going to sound confusing, but this is earthquakes are good news in a way. Your perspective on things has to change. My son was teaching me a valuable lesson about that today. Young minds always have different perspectives, and sometimes it's refreshing, you know. And as an old dog, I can admit I can still learn new tricks. I'm always willing to learn. Okay, back up, Brian. Where are you going, dude? 4.9 at a depth of 218. So we need to back up here to get you guys all in line again. Yeah. Can't everything going for this map. Alright, there we go. You guys are so tolerant. I love you. I love you. So our deep quake area did not produce a deep quake. That 4.9 is only at a depth of 218. Shit, we see deeper quakes in this area than that. So that is not a deep quake for the day. It's a 4.9 at a depth of 218. Down here, we have a 5.0 at a depth of 10. That's energy being scrubbed off, isn't it? Probably because of this. But this was not really a major quake or a deep quake. It's a 4.9, look, at a depth of 218. So we do a little calculation at the surface. That's a 5 to 5.1. Here's another according quake, a 5 right there. Okay, surface quake. So we start going up the system. Bingo, 4.9, depth of 35, translates to a 5. 4.7 at a depth of 104, translates to 4.9. Here's a 5.2 at a depth of 23. Translates even more, alright? Here we go. 5.0 at a depth of 203 here. Alright? So all this 5-point energy just going right through the system like it's supposed to. It's working wonderfully. Now this area sometimes has deep quakes, so let's go to these two. Nope, this is a 5.1 at a depth of 10, that's a surface quake, and a 4.7 at a depth of 44. That translates into a 4.8 to 4.9. So two, near 5 energy right there being scrubbed off. Okay? Going right up through the system. Click, 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 like clockwork. Up here, we have a 4.7 at a depth of 35. Okay. Surface, that's, 4.8 maybe. So it's the same energy. Here's a 4.4 at a depth of 48 here at Japan, and a 4.4 at a depth of 49. So twin 4.4s right here. The garden hose kink, nothing made it, or nothing came up this way, but let's see what's going on out here. Rat Island. Rat Island. You see this tail, this curvature, like a rat tail? I think we better go investigate what's going on at Rat Island, shall we? We have a pretty good volcano right there, and let's see the volcano on Rat Island. Oh, rats. It's got a weird, glitchy image. But it's a volcano. You can see the slopes of it. You can see the way the snow runs down it. The crater's kind of covered, whatever, because of this crappy multi-image, whatever. Okay? But as we pull back, you see the slope area right here as it penetrates the water and goes down underwater, the slope area. This quake is on the flank of this volcano, isn't it? Sure is. So I'd watch out for activity coming up out of this, maybe, or maybe not, because we release some energy, but we do have movement around this volcano now. Okay? And it's just downstream from where we had our other volcano go off and 7.4 earthquake. And I'm going to not call it a 7.2 ever. Ever. I'm never going to call that a 7.2. It came in at a 7.4. The results from it indicate that it was probably even larger than that. Okay, these guys downgrade stuff all the time, and I'm sick of just repeating their downgrade. So there. Like me or not. As we go up here, 2.5 at a depth of 82. Here's our fulcrum point. Even though the red line, the plate tectonic boundary line is right here, you can see it underwater right here. The buckle, the bend, the fulcrum point is right here. You can see how it's pushed up into here, causing this bay, this curvature of mountains right here, okay? And it's pushed up. Let's back out because we're getting too close. We want dimension. You guys got to be out at a different dimension to see this. So you see this push has come up through this way. All right. My arrow's not doing it. It comes up, boom, and they're pushing up through here. This boundary line should be shifted over a little bit right there, kind of. But at the apex point of this push is right where this quake is. And this apex point right here, you can actually see this big arc right here. Okay. And if we pull back, get that out of the screen. Right there. Now you can see the push underwater, the cliff, the push up into the land, up into the mountains, causing this round curvature of the mountain range right there. And there's even this little sublet of mountains right here, and this is where our quake hit. And it's a 3.4 to depth of 26. It's not a big quake, but it is activity in this little complex right here that is the tip of the finger of this fulcrum point. Hopefully you guys can see that. Now, let's carry on. Yes, nice quiet Juan de Fuca. Nevada's still rocking a little bit. This 3.3, looks like there's a secondary there too. And a 3.4 and a 2.8. That's kind of quiet considering what I saw in the skies over Nevada today. So I would kind of expecting some more activity in this region because I know what's sitting over it. Here's 2.6 at a depth of 4.3. Let's travel on down to the Cocos Plate. This is the region that I kind of concerned about. 4.4 to depth of 60. What's this other one? Give it to me. Right there. 4.5 at a depth of 79 and a depth of 60. Okay, so we got two quakes that are they're perfectly placed in this plateau area. They're not right along the cliff right here or in this weak zone where the water inundates the land right in, that zone right along the beach. So this is actually better to have two quakes release energy at 4.5 level than to have those combined together as one quake right here on the edge and have a 7.0, 7.5 that creates a landslide right on the edge of a cliff. All right, so I will take this all day. That is good news to me. Even though there's quakes, that's still good news. You guys got to have different perspectives on things sometimes. And there's silver linings to some things that you just don't realize until it gets worse. Then once it's worse, you go, oh shit, there was a silver lining to that back there. I should have seen it. But you never see it until it's too late. So I'm going to start pointing out silver linings for you before it's too late. And this is all 3.7, 3.8 stuff. Just your regular activity in that area. Nice and quiet. Little fulcrum point. 4.3 to depth of 185. Translates to 4.5 maybe at the surface. Ooh. What do we have here? A 5.4 at a depth of 161 translates to the surface probably 5.6 or 7. Now, this is another one of those push points, except this one is sideways. So I want you to like tilt your head to the right 90 degrees, and you can see how a finger has come and pushed all this up. Or from the right, if you have your head, just you can see how something has gone. Tectonic plate has shifted and pushed this type of structure there now, right? Very similar to what we were looking at before, just in a different direction. So, you see this one down here, and you see this one up here, okay? It's the same kind of geological feature, structure type event down here. And what do we have? But a quake of 5.4 at a depth of 161. This is beautiful. This is like 5.7 energy at the surface, a scrubbing off energy. I mean, this is really a pretty quake map. It really looks pretty. 4.3 in Iran. Their activity, they're in hot water. They are in some deep. If I could explain, I would, but they would kill me. Their own Mahdi. All right, let's. We did that. We did that. What are you talking about, Lord? We're going to this. Did I miss something, you guys? No, we're going to this. All right, we're going to start the loop. Ugh. This event right here at the very beginning, that's the one I'm worried about tomorrow. I'm going to go take a quick drag, say a prayer at this point. You guys do your little thing, bathroom break or whatever. We'll do the weather report, and then we'll get into the spiritual report. Hurts so good. Come on, Jesus, make it hurt so good. Sometimes. Sorry. Sorry, everybody. Okay. Gonna need it for tonight. Oh, maybe I should draw the diagram, I guess. Wow. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh, good. We got McAfee, who's dead. I didn't even click on anything. I wasn't even here. And the computer just, hey, McAfee. No, no, thank you. I was trying to show this, dead dude. Right? right, let's dive in, shall we? Speaking of diving, I got to go swimming yesterday, and they got the old farts pool with the warm water and the ladders and all the little pull-up bars, and boy was I able to get some relief on my hip. The first time I've had relief in 6.5 years. Imagine feeling pain for 6.5 years, and you finally get relief. I'll tell you what, I didn't want to get out of that pool, but the battlefield calls. And while we're on the battlefield, did you see the incoming? Oh boy. Okay, let's start here. Opening frame, current conditions, 5 a.m., July 20th. Okay, we have this low pushing up in here, but it scatters out and we get these pop-up thunderstorms at the end of convection July 20th. This is the event I'm very concerned about right here, okay? I think this is one of our inbound objects causing this disturbance, and we'll be manipulating it and controlling it as well. See how it blossoms into the nighttime? I don't want to look at that. I want to back up first. This is the end of convection. This is sundown, all right? There's still, it'll be sundown here on the East Coast. There's still rays, long rays that reach across the plains that'll hit these foothills still and illuminate this cloud structure, this monstrous cloud structure. I saw some cloud structure today with faces and crowns, and boy, are we in for it. Okay. Now, this is the nighttime. This blossoms into the nighttime into a severe storm. This is probably going to produce some nasty tornadoes at night in Kansas, the Oklahoma Panhandle, just north, possibly even into the Texas Panhandle. This map is showing without consideration for the inbound energy. All these other solar reporters have been talking about this wave that's coming in, all right? I think they got my cue and understood that, oh shit, we have an inbound big wave coming, all right? It's due to impact around between this frame and this frame is when it's due to impact. So it's going to turn this into something even bigger. Prayers and prayers and prayers for these people. If you are in this region right here in Kansas, I wouldn't hunker down. I would get thee out of there. Do not hang around for this event. It's going to be nasty. I bet you this event will be making headlines on the 21st. I don't having a good idea how many people it's going to kill. And let's just start praying right now. Let's stop this monster right here. It has two eyes and a face. Here, watch. And that's what this computer predicted. Give it to me right there. Can you see the little face, two eyes, and the beak and the mouth or whatever on it? That's what this thing is coming up with. Imagine what it's really going to look like. It's going to have horns and a tail and claws and teeth. Weather with claws and teeth. Yeah, imagine that. Spiritual claws and teeth. How about that? So, right here is the main concern for this whole show. Really, that and the spiritual report tonight. This event, look out. Look out. Warning, warning. Call your friends and neighbors in this area. Tell them to watch out for the nighttime between sundown and midnight. This region. And I know who's out running around. He looks just like that. Okay. So watch out for this event. Also going on at this time as well. Let me back up a frame. See, there's the end of convection and sundown. Watch the East Coast. Boom. You see how this blossoms as well. So I would watch this region as well. I want you to think about every little green spot on this map as yellow. And every yellow spot is red, and every red spot as black for death. How about that? This is no joke. This storm and the inbound objects, entities, energy, all three combined with the weather is going. I will be on my knees for this event. I will be until my knees bleed, probably, or wear holes in my pants or something, praying this whole time. And the storm chasers that are going to interact with this, let's pray for them because this is going to be death defying. All right, anybody in this region is going to be death defying. Go to the lower part of your house, central room, board up your windows. Be flying glass, flying debris, heavy hail. Take your cars and put them in a parking garage and take the bus home. Put your cars in a protective area and ride your bike home. And then the next day, when it's all clear, ride your bike back to your car because your car is not going to survive this if it's out in the open. Expect falling trees, flash flooding. It's going to be hellacious right there. Stab right in the back. Nice. So this event is, I cannot give you the sense of urgency about this event right here. This could produce one big F5 tornado. You could see multiple tornadoes combine and create a big monster tornado at night that can't be seen. That's when storm chasers give up and, there's not many weather reports. This thing at night, I'm telling you guys, watch out. I am very concerned about this, especially with what I saw today and what I have experienced over the last week. Trust me. Then, this is the morning hour. There's still residual intense thunderstorms going on here in Oklahoma in the morning hours. Then it shifts really fast this way. This moisture does, this glob of moisture. Then it sets up for convection on the 21st. So the monster that was here that just ate and killed everybody has now snuck over here, tiptoed over to here. Now this is the end of convection, and then it hits down here. It blossoms at night. Not really blossom too hard, but it scatters. You see this between here? This is Georgia, Florida, Alabama, and it goes boom right through it. Okay? And that's a nighttime event again. This will be 1, 2 in the morning here on the Florida, Georgia, South Carolina coast. Even back up in here, I'd watch this too. Now we go into the morning hours, dissipation. Noontime is still dissipating. Now we have convection, the end of convection, sundown, right around here. It blossoms down here in the southern states. Look at this. Watch. We go back. There's hardly anything going on, but there is this low. At the end of convection, when the sun goes down, it blossoms right through that whole zone, and I'd watch out in there. Okay, that's the nighttime of the 22nd going into the morning of the 23rd. We have dissipation, clearing, convection again, and dissipation at night. More dissipation into the morning hours of the 24th. 24th is looking good. That's the noontime. And there's your end of convection. No blossoming at nighttime. So the 24th looks like a good day. Whew. Finally. 25th is looking good. That's the end of convection on the 25th. Not much. I'd look out up here in New York and Pennsylvania, but it doesn't blossom overnight. This does back here. Sneaking in the back door here at South and North Dakota, blossoms at nighttime into Minnesota on July 25th. This isn't as reliable now because we don't know what's going to come off the sun the 21st. Okay, so this could have added energy or not. Okay, so we're just kind of plugging through this. We have dissipation morning of the 26th. Clear the noontime. A little bit of convection over Great Lakes area. Blossoms really hard at nighttime right here. This red zone right there. So let's go back. That's sundown. And then 2 in the morning, you're going to have possible heavy thunderstorms, flash flooding in that region. Okay. Let's click back. I didn't cover. That's the morning dissipation. Actually, in the morning, there's still residual moisture in this glob right here with a yellow patch in there still. Then we had dissipation at noon. Some convection back behind it. This low forms. It blossoms at night. Here we go. Back up. So July 27th, at the end of convection here, it's going to blossom at night. And that's Chicago area, Wisconsin, Indiana, Illinois, okay, that area. Boom. Dissipation in the morning. Clearing even more. Nice. That's the end of convection right there with just this one spot here at New York and Pennsylvania. And it leaves off the coast. Leaves off the coast at night. There's your morning. Now we have this thing forming way down here in the Gulf, this monster. Can you see it there? Try to keep it in the frame. So, morning of 29th, noon of the 29th, the end of convection the 29th. This thing will have multiple thunderstorms all the way around it, okay? This is the little hurricane coming in, little hurricane coming in to the Baja Peninsula here. It's going to bring moisture up into the southwest here as it comes up with it, so see how it moves like that? I'm going to just forget the times for a minute. We're watching this little hurricane move. So watch it move up the Baja and dissipate before it reaches America. See how I did that? Okay, so back to where we were. This is the end of convection, the 29th. This thing continues to creep up. We have rain and stuff all back and through here. Nothing too hard. At the nighttime of the 29th, there's the morning of the 30th. There's noontime clearing out the 30th. End of convection the 30th, back up in here. Okay, and then this thing creeping up. Nighttime the 30th, morning of the 31st, noon of the 31st. This congeals here. This glob with this low congeals and forms a decent thunderhead activity there. That's the noontime of the 31st. That's the end of convection right there, nighttime or sundown on July 31st. And I bet you this blossoms. Yeah, it does. So here's another one of these events where the sun goes down and it still produces, it continues growing. This is predicting the North Carolina, Georgia, Alabama area, again. In the morning, that's noon the 1st. There's the end of convection the 1st. We're talking possible pop-ups in the Appalachians, West Virginia, down to Alabama. I know Alabama's in deep shit. They just pulled a number on my son, and oh boy, are they going to be in trouble. Sure don't know who they're messing with. Anyways, let's get back to business. This is the blossoming at nighttime on the 1st. Then it dissipates, goes off the coast the morning of the 2nd. There's the noon of the second. Now we're at the sundown convection with activity down here at Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Louisiana area. Up here in Canada as well, you guys. Canadians pay attention to. These lows like to wrap up in your region, so just like this. Now this low has this tail coming back. This is the pop-ups in that tail, and that's at nighttime of the second. Now we go into the morning of the third. This low really winding up here. And then we have the low winding up even more at noontime the third. Now, see this tail stretch out? Look how it has this perfect yellow stripe of thunderstorms in it. Look at that. Go back a frame. See how it's winding up tighter? And then, bingo! Here this tail drapes across. Oh boy, Wisconsin, Michigan, the Great Lakes, up into Canada. So watch that. Watch out for that event. Now we're the nighttime of the third. Look at this. Look at this popping up back here. So this is the end of convection, but the sun's not down here on these foothills of the Rockies, and then that shit blossoms overnight. And look how tight and wound up this. This is a big storm. Look at this. It reaches all the way back here. Boom. And it still has this embedded thunderstorms in the morning, August 4th. And we still have this tail back here. Okay. Like the tail of the dragon. It's still got. See this tail of the dragon back here? So it reaches all the way back up in here. So there's the tail still. And that's the morning hours of August 4th. They're still calling for severe weather there. This is the noontime August 4th. Look how it has stretched all the way like this. Even back up into the panhandle of Texas. Then that's the convection inside of it. At the end of convection right there. August 4th. Then it blossoms right into Virginia. Probably headed for Langley. That place is in big trouble. And they know why. And NASA and all them government officials, they're all shitting right now. And I'm about to tell you why. And we're going to wrap up our scientific solar weather report. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to take a sip and a quick prayer. And then we're going to come back for the spiritual report. And let's just give you something to look at while I do another prayer. These prayers are becoming more and more important. I have to stop a lot now and do individual prayers, individual things, ceremonies. I mean, it's getting bad now. I have to actually perform fucking ceremonies to protect you guys. Huh? All right, no, we're not looking at this. We're looking for my... Watch out for that craft right there, too. If you see that landing in your yard, say a prayer. It'll go away. Now, what was it I was showing somebody? And they were like, oh, this one. After their 15-minute ad, I'm sure. Come on, attorney at law. Alright, there we go. It's this angel. Hopefully you can see it. If you tilt your head to the right, about 45 degrees, you make out the legs, the waist, the torso. There's the wings here, a wing here. Here's the head with a little hat or crown, the hair. It's a female that has breasts, and it's hovering over a sleeping child. Okay, there's a sleeping child down below, and we'll leave him out of the image. But I want you to tilt your head to the right. Hopefully you can see this image of this angel. In fact, let's see where... Alright. Now we've pulled back a little bit. You can see this angel in a shaft of light hovering over the sleeping child. Beautiful image, isn't it? Real image captured by a security camera. By a security camera that's admissible as evidence in a court of law. I want you to think about that part real hard when you're looking at this angel right here, because this is evidence that is admissible in our courts. If it were the police arresting somebody on camera, it would be admissible as evidence in a court because it's on a digital camera. It's on a security camera. This is the same thing. In fact, let me try to, there we go, get most of it in the screen there. Okay, let me say a quick prayer and I'll be right back. You guys say a prayer too, amongst yourselves. Okay, Lord, man, this is what we're going to need it the most. Now, I don't know what to say or how to say this, so I'm going to ask you to speak through me. Yes, I have no idea how to tell them this, so I see you up there still suffering. And I know that you and me together make perfection, so I'm asking for your help, Jesus. No, I'm begging for your help, Jesus. Please. Oh, yeah. The diagram. Yeah, we're going to have to do the diagram. All right. So the diagram then. Okay. Hopefully some of you have left. No. Okay, I guess you're diehards then, huh? Okay. While looking at this picture, hopefully you have grasped that the divine realm, the spiritual realm, is real. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. Okay? When you pass on, your consciousness continues on. When your shell in your body dies, your consciousness, your awareness continues on. Now, where it goes is up to you and what decisions you make, right? So, spiritual battle is actually taking place right now in a way that is affecting your families. Okay, you got entities that have arrived that can possess people, make people say things out of character, make you attack them in defense or whatever, right? So you need to understand how this is evolving. Also, these entities are manifesting physically. All right? This little entity showed up as a moth flying around in my garage, right? And it was attracted to the lights like a moth, and it was attracted to pink lights. See, I have all kinds of Christmas lights, different colors. And this one would bounce from pink light to pink light, all the way across the room to another pink light, back across the room to another pink light, and it would only touch pink lights. And that was kind of an indicator. And then when it flew up to me, I saw that this moth had legs. And it said in a very tiny, squeaky voice, super fast, "It's me." But it said it in like the millisecond. Like in the time I say it said the whole thing. It's like super fast. And I recognized it's this entity now manifested in physical form. Other entities I've showed you manifesting in physical form, very nasty ones. Okay, they're They're indwelling in your family members, in non-believers, and that's part of your spiritual test. Is how well are you going to react to this? So, another question I've been asking you guys, and hopefully you've been pondering this for the last couple of days while you're out. When you're out and about and you're walking amongst the public and you're the only person in the entire store that knows about this stuff, don't you feel kind of not singled out, but special? You're one in a million. You're one in a billion. Because there's only 28 people watching right now, something like that. There'll be some more viewers afterwards because I do late hours, but it's just you guys that know about this and of, the criminal so-called elite. I will never call them elite. You, my viewers, are the elite. They are a bunch of criminal scumbags. There we go. Scumbags. That's a good term. So, there's the elite, you, and then there's a few scumbags that know about this and keep it all suppressed, right? Well, you're not going to be able to suppress it much longer because it's manifesting in ways that will shock you. And that's the only way to get the public's attention anymore is shock value. If it doesn't make you jump out of your boots, it's not even worth clicking on, right? Right? Yeah. That's society we live in now. And this should knock your socks off, right? This stuff I make millions off of this, right? But I don't. It's more important. You can't charge for this. This is too important. I'm not in it to make money. I'm thankful for what I have, all right? The Lord provides for me. And He provides for you too. And you know it. Every single thing in your life was provided to you by the Lord. From the moment you were born until this very moment right now. So, the more you accept that, the easier life becomes. But the more challenged you become in the spiritual realm as well. See, we're making spiritual warriors, not a bunch of spiritual pussies. Because that's what this planet is a bunch of spiritual pussies right now. Nobody brave enough to take on this so-called elite that are a bunch of criminal scumbags. They know they belong behind bars. They themselves know that they have committed these crimes. It just takes a good man to call them on their shit. And that's what I'll be doing in my courtroom. See, I've already seen the courtroom above, and it's there. And there, everybody appears for good and for bad reasons. All the good things that you did are going to be celebrated. But all the bad things that these people have done, well, they're not going to be celebrated. They're going to be punished. Because they weren't punished here in this realm. The only way we can get real justice is in my courtroom, where there's no paid attorneys, you can't plea deal. The whole truth and nothing but the truth is on display through your own eyes, through your own experiences. Everything was recorded in your brain, recorded on your spirit. Now we're going to play it back for the court, and everybody's going to see what you did and what you didn't do. Hopefully you guys led a good life. I know most of my viewers have because they're still here. They're watching this and they're listening to me and they understand. It's the rest of the world that doesn't understand this stuff. This lack of knowledge is why people perish. Can you see that the lack of this knowledge is all over the place? And if people had knowledge of the divine realm, don't you think they'd behave a lot better? Don't you think everybody would treat each other a lot nicer if you knew there was a heaven and there's hell to pay? Now, for my viewers, my elite, unfortunately for you, you have to go through hell on earth to make it to heaven. Other people are having heaven here on earth, but then they're going to pay. There's going to be hell to pay for eternity. So, endure what you got to endure while you're here, because it's going to have paybacks. Spiritual paybacks. You will be tougher. You will be stronger. You will have courage because you know that you're unstoppable. I said bring it back, unstoppable. Come here. Play games with me. You get it? And even if you die, you're going to be hailed as a hero because of the cause you died for. What cause do you want to die for? We're all going to die someday, right? And according to what's been going on, that's going to be pretty soon here. So, what are you going to do with these fleeting moments? Are you going to go out a hero or out a zero? Are you going to defend the Lord in the spiritual realm and teach people and try to win souls for Jesus in these closing moments? Or are you just going to fuck it all off on your phone while you're driving in traffic? There are spiritual consequences going on every action you take, every thought you think. Your thoughts aren't your own, by the way. These spirits are putting thoughts in your heads, thoughts to fight, thoughts of depression. All right? You got to use these images that I'm showing you as your spiritual foundation in which you plant your knees and worship your creator. I mean, he's an awesome, awesome dude. There is no reason to hate this man. He's your big buddy. He's like your big brother who would defend you in a fight, that would look out for you no matter what. And maybe sometimes big brothers teach little brothers a lesson, but it's only to make them tougher, right? He's your big buddy. He's your big brother. He's here to defend you against stuff that you have no idea is attacking you. And then, talking about last night, the women, have you started treating your men better? Did you take a step forward today and physically or mentally think, you know what, maybe I should take it easy on him today? Let me just tell you this right now. These men are going to be protecting you here in the near future. You might want to treat them well now if you expect protection from them here in the future, because it's the men that are going to be protecting the women. And then the women will understand the importance that men play, the role they play in this society. We're not here to be kicked around, stepped on, and treated as dummies. The man of the family, or the man of the house, used to be the man of the house. Now he's the transgender, whatever, awkward. It's not even a role model anymore. And that's the problem. That's why there's all this crime, because there's no male role models out there anymore. There's no men out there anymore. It's a bunch of pussies raising another generation of pussies. How the heck are you going to fight a spiritual battle against demons when you got an army of pussies? You can't. So it's time you guys take your spiritual bootstraps, pull them up, and get ready to do battle. And that means keeping people, how do I put this? Understanding the world that they're in, and that they're going and suffering their tribulations as well, and being forgiving and understanding when they step out of character. Okay? Recognizing what it is when they step out of character, recognizing what it is, and then praying, being forgiving, and and fixing the problem. Do not exacerbate the problem. Fix it. If you don't know how to fix it, pray on it, and it'll tell you. Make that make that entity, that person happy. What is it that they need? Listen closely. Are they being heard? Maybe that's the problem. They're not being heard. Because that's my issue. I'm not being heard. So that's why I do what I do here on my show, so you guys can hear me. And it's therapy for me as well, too. Since I can't get a proper therapist, a proper doctor, or anybody to understand what is going on. But we got you guys, so I think that was it. Oh, one more reading. I have been skipping the readings. Hang on. We do have to close up shop here, but I got one reading here I'll go for you. Okay. I dug this one out for you guys. I'm going to take a sip. Good, you're all still here. Now get this. You are ready for anything and equal to anything through your living relationship with me. Rest in my presence while I infuse inner strength into you. Because you are a child of the King of Kings, you are capable of so much more than you realize. To benefit fully from your privileged position, however, you need to spend ample time with me. As you relax in my presence, delighting in me and opening your heart to me, I fill you with inner strength. This time spent together is not only pleasurable, but it is empowering. Where there is much to do, it's tempting to rush through your time with me and dive into the activities of the day. But just as eating a healthy breakfast helps you function at your best, so does feeding your soul a healthy diet of me. Bask in my word, asking my spirit to make it come alive in you. Savor these words of life. Your living relationship with me helps you approach each day with confidence, ready for anything that comes your way. All right, that's it for tonight. I love you all. God bless you all. I'll see you all soon. Oh, one last thing I had to tell you. You guys, hopefully amateur astronomers notice this, but the moon is offset. Not its axis or anything, but the star Venus that it lines up with at nighttime when it sets always lines up with the moon, either the moon looking like an eyeball looking at the star, or the star is behind the eyeball in the crescent, almost like a ball going into a catcher's mitt. That's the celestial plane. The moon is off of its celestial plane. It was not lined up with that star tonight. And I got a quick glimpse of it. I didn't have time to take any measurements or calculations, but it's sundown tomorrow. If that moon, that crescent in the moon, the round face, the apex of that face should be pointing at the star, or the star should be inside the apex of that cup. That the alignment of that star traveling through the apex of a crescent moon has been offset. And it's been that way my whole life. And tonight when I looked up, the moon was off by like, I'd say 23 degrees or something. It was just a rough estimate at a stoplight using a light pole as a reference for an angle. And if this is the case, I bet you NASA is shitting bricks and everybody is shitting right now. And if amateur astronomers haven't noticed this yet, they will be soon. Because I noticed it. I looked up at the sky and went, whoa, that something doesn't look right there. And then when I looked at it closer, it appears either the moon is off the celestial plane or we have shifted. But I don't see the stars in a different spot in the sky. It was just the moon was not lined up appropriately with the star. Now the moon sets 50 minutes later every day, so some nights it's in front of the star, other nights it's behind the star. But it always lines up with the fulcrum point, the apex of that crescent. It either looks like an eyeball staring at the star, or it's past the star and it looks like a catcher's mitt with the star going into it. Tonight, it was way out of whack. The moon was way outside the celestial plane. And if that's the case, we are going to have some tidal problems, and so watch out for that. I'm going to be documenting it this morning when the moon comes up and the star rises this morning. I'll be taking calculations and measurements, but I'm afraid what I just witnessed is one of the signs of the moon that was promised in the Bible. Okay, so that's it for now. Gotta go. Love you all. Have a good night. I will maybe be back with an early show tomorrow. Bye.